It's showtime.
BSnBEER Media in association with STWF TV, the podcasting network. We present to you the Frenemies Fantasy Football Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. I'm Dale. I am joined today by Tim and by Kyle. Guys, what's up?
What's up, Dale?
What up? What up?
Oh, man. All good here. All good. Today, I am drinking the vodka, pink lemonade, provided by my guy, Kyle. And, got some Sprite mixed in with it, but really it's twist up because I'm still broke, Tim. Still broke. Okay.
He's on Broke Street. Dang.
Man, that was from.
I think I probably need to get my breaks done too. So
that was a long time ago, Dale. I'm surprised you ain't finished that by now.
No. I save it for the show, bro. Save it for the show.
He puts it back in the fridge afterward. I don't know if have you been pouring up to pour your iced tea back in the jug before you put it back in the fridge? You ever done that? That's when you know you're broke. Pouring the iced tea back in the jug.
I just put my glass in the fridge and just hold it in there. That's what I do. And get it.
All right.
That's what I do.
You have to put your name on there before the kids take it?
I hope not.
And not drink out my glass, man.
I know you can't reach the top shelf in the fridge.
Oh.
Come on. What you got tonight, Tim?
The only guy I can make short jokes to. I'm just drinking water because yeah. See, I had this birthday party Saturday night. All right.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, Dale was there. All right. And I spent all 24 hours all day Sunday horizontal position. Laying in the bed, buddy.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Look, man, hangovers at 43 are a whole nother level. All right. So as soon as I went vertical, standing up, came Chuck. Here comes Chuck. Right away, man. It was bad. Bad. Yeah. Everybody text me, call me. How you doing, man? It's like, dude, I didn't talk to nobody. I don't care. I don't care.
I didn't realize you were in a bad way at all. Like, I mean, the time I was there with you, like, you seemed fine to me. And
I went out afterward.
Okay. There you go.
My birthday was the pregame.
Yeah, it's been much. It's been much.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Tim? Just stick with the things natural from the earth. You won't have that problem.
BSnBEER Media is sponsored by Purple Valley Farms Marijuana. We got that good.
Have a good time. Get up the next day. It's no problem.
Yeah, I like it. What's up, Marvin?
What's up, Marvin? This is the guy here who cannot make it to any fantasy draft. Okay, he probably made 2 years out of the 7,
8,
whatever we've been doing.
Yeah. He's always got something going on, man. Marvin.
Come on.
I don't know if he's planning all the things or the wife's planning all the things or the kids. It's always something.
Always something.
Cheerleading practice, baseball practice, volleyball practice.
Right. You show up to the show, you're getting your head bust. That's right.
He came last year. He popped in last year, I think it was.
Yep.
So thanks for being here, Marvin.
Right. Kyle, what you got?
I got a couple different things. I know we was drinking Modelo last week, so I still got this tall boy, and then I actually have Little bit of the brothers bond.
All right.
Yeah. It's down at the
Nice.
bottom though. I mean, I've had this for a minute, so almost done with it. I heard that drinking diet soda with your alcohol is better and it'll get you drunker.
Oh, really?
Have y'all ever heard of that, or is that like just something I've seen on the internet and has no value? No, I've never tried it because I don't drink diet soda, but we're gonna try it. I got a little Diet Coke to go with it. So
There you go.
All right.
I'll do a test today. We're gonna try it.
Hey, look. Here's a good fact though, man. Drop off the Diet Coke and just go to Coke Zero, man.
Oh, okay.
Coke Zero tastes so much like Coke, you won't even notice the difference, man. Yeah. That's the mixture.
Recipe.
Man, that's like let's just top this off. Let's get it
Look
all the way.
at this.
Yeah,
Done.
That's like a double. I mean, that's all I got left of it. It was good. I'm digging it. So and I'm gonna keep this bottle. This is a cool looking bottle. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to some news. And we got to get our guys out here to do the news. Yay, news. But it starts off bad.
oh
So-
no.
Yes, very, very bad.
I know what you're talking about.
JJ McCarthy. He looked fine in the preseason game that he played in. Just really looked the part. However, he got injured and he is going to therefore miss the season with a torn meniscus. So that's
Season? Whoa.
the season. Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes. He's going to miss the season.
He's out.
So this is after we've seen this video of Sam Darnold like throwing a pick in practice and then like going down to the ground almost in like tears. That's what it looked like to me.
The hell?
You got to see that?
Mm-mm.
No. I'm sure it's Sam Darnold though. I expect the worst out of this guy.
So I mean, JJ McCarthy was never gonna play, was he? Like, come on now. What did he do at Michigan?
Yes,
Behind
he
one
was
of the
going to play.
best line in the
I'm
entire
telling you, bro.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, bro.
It just seemed like he handed the ball off 9 out of 10 times, made like some jump off.
Oh no, this is the wrong one. No.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Oh.
Oh man, that's great. That is good. They got the Will Ferrell on there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, it's probably gonna take me a minute to find it, I guess. I
oh.
thought it was on here. 'Cause I found it like crazy yesterday. So
Do we know any Vikings fans? We could ask some Vikings fans. I have one. I could reach out to my
I could actually reach out to Rhino. We had him on the beer run last year.
yeah, right.
He runs Vikings Uncensored.
Hey, we're fine with the Vikings sucking all year. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that you are.
Well,
But yeah, man.
I think Jordan Addison went down too, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, so Jordan Addison went down with the leg injury, and that's even worse than all his legal problems that he's been having. So that's something I wanted to talk to you about, Tim. Is this like a buy low candidate, or is this something because you can't sell high on this dude, right? Because he's injured now.
Well, you can't ever trade. You can never trade away an injured player for very much anyway, man. And I do have Jordan Addison on my BSnBEER league team, so I'm kind of married to him right now. Ever since he started having legal trouble, I kind of just like didn't even do anything, worry about him. So
Hey, Patty's here. Finally, we get Patty back. It's like real.
there. There's the Patty.
It's on the Olympic stuff. Okay. All right, Patty.
Yep.
But yeah, Jordan Addison, man, I wouldn't buy him right now. If he's going to be out for a while, you can wait, let him soak up a spot on somebody else's seat. And
Coach is saying that Carr may end up getting traded to the Vikings. What do you think about that idea?
Because we saw 5 minutes of Spencer Rattler, and he, squeaked one in the end zone. Like,
bro, I did a show Monday with Coach.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm super high on him. I would love to see that happen, but like, come on now, like Jesus Christ, that's so quick.
Coaching the guys, I'm telling you, they're telling us we need to get rid of Carr. Everybody needs to start Rattler. Like that's what they're saying. I'm just telling you what they're saying. Okay.
I would love for Rattler to be the starter in like 2 years. I mean, I feel like so many people are seeing what Green Bay has done, and they refuse to do it. Like they just won't do it. They won't have a veteran and sit a guy behind him, if it means losing games. But I don't know, man. Jordan Love seems to be working out pretty well. So, like, it's just I would love to see Rattler just sit behind Carr, someone who's been in the league for 10 years now, knows what he's doing. He's not great at it, sure, but he's a veteran. I just want him to learn before we throw him out there. It's like, dude, crazy.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about it. This is the formula that keeps happening in Green Bay, though. Favre to Rodgers, Rodgers to Love, and then who was that before Favre? I think was it Starr? Was it Bart Starr all the way back? No, I think it was Bart Starr.
No. Was it Starr? I don't know, but you're right. Like they haven't started a rookie quarterback since like 1960 something. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen this year unless it's an injury or something catastrophic happens.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think Rattler is going to even get the second QB position. So that's what I believe.
Hey, Sports Talk with Friends is mostly Cowboys fans. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh yeah. It's
Carr doesn't know what he's doing. It sounds a little biased. I mean,
it's two of them. It's two of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's a Patriots guy. Jake's a Patriots guy.
Yeah. we got one Patriots guy. And then I bring up the game. Then I bring up the game from last year, and then it gets a little quiet. So.
No.
So this is I think this is the injury for Jordan Addison.
No. I don't even want to watch.
That don't look
they
good.
got joint practice with Cleveland, huh?
Yeah, right. And so it's really a shame for him. He had a good year last year, but now his value is gonna really go down a lot. So
you're gonna have to hold it. If you got him, you're gonna have to hold him for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And if because that injury didn't look good right there, pushing in on the knee from the outside, that never looks good. But and then he hopped on the other leg, a couple of times. He couldn't put any weight on it right away. So we're just gonna go and assume it's some ACL or MCL tear.
Yeah, he got MCL tear. We'll see what the injury is.
I don't think they've put it out yet what it is, but it just
McCarthy got the MCL tear. That's what it was.
Yeah.
When they opened up,
somebody had MCL tear. So
yeah. When they opened him up, they found that MCL tear, so that verified his season was over.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
All right.
So that one more bad news situation is Alvin Kamara is he's injured.
I don't know, man.
Injury. So he's missed like 2 days of practice. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's injured. Okay, that's
Wink, 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 injured.
so. Now the actual news that we have is Brandon Ayuk is being traded to the Steelers. They have a deal in place. We don't know the compensation yet.
Oh, I heard it was Minka Fitzpatrick and a second round
Oh wow.
for Ayuk and a fourth round.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Patrick to that defense. Jesus Christ. Woo.
So, but what does this got to do? What's going to shake up over at the Steelers wide receiver room, right? If that happens, if the deal goes through.
So let's look at their wide receiver.
I mean, what you still have Pickens 1. You put Ayuk in the slot. I don't know off the top of my head. Didn't Deontay Johnson go somewhere?
Yeah, he left. Yeah, he went to Carolina.
Yep. So.
Oh, they got Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin, the speedster.
Yeah. So Van Jefferson is probably going to stay. Going to be the one going to the bench, and then they're going to have Calvin Austin run the slot as a shiftier guy.
So here's the thing, man. Can Russell Wilson really maintain a wide receiver 1, much less 2 wide receiver 1s? Because it's probably going to be Pickens and then Ayuk. Pickens would probably be the number 1.
I would think it'd be Pickens and then Ayuk, but
yeah.
Well, so criticism I've heard of Pickens is he doesn't really run a lot of underneath routes. So his fantasy production is kind of boom or bust. So if you got a guy that's boom or bust like that, and then you bring in a guy like Russell Wilson, like he makes so many plays where it's like incomplete. He's just throwing it out of bounds or whatever because he's holding a damn ball so long. Okay, I don't like that about Russell Wilson. but yeah, I can see him being one of those one of those guys that's getting you 16 points or nothing. Because it's gonna be a low output kind of offense. I don't think it's gonna be able to support a lot of receivers, just like you're saying, Tim.
Yeah. Supposedly Ayuk was wanting like $30 million a year or something like that. That was a rumor. And but I think they only offered like 26 or something. It was just like $4 million off. They were like $4 million away from what he wanted, and he was like, "No, San Francisco, trade me." So here we are.
See this name right here, Arthur Smith.
Oh wow,
notorious for not using his receivers.
Yep.
Yeah,
that guy. Okay, be one.
Not even his receivers, the correct playmakers.
He's like run first offense.
Pittsburgh don't like to pay nobody. I don't think.
They're not going to trade for him and then not pay the guy because he'll leave after this year. In his last year. And this
2 Cowboys, 2 Patriots, 2 Saints. That's weird flex, but okay. All right. I mean, you look at us as 2 Saints, 1 Packers, so I ain't gonna hate. But
wait, give who the big bag, Anthony? Are you talking about Russell Wilson?
No, Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, he's talking about
Ayuk,
sure.
Well, yeah. If the trade is in place, that's the only way he's going to approve it.
Why would you let go of Patrick though? That's like
it's got to come. It's got to come with some kind of contract. So
right, yeah. Right now he's got a no trade contract. Is that right?
Right. So he's got to waive that clause for it to actually go through. And so from what I'm hearing, the Patriots offer him $30 million a year, $32 million a year. So my guess is the offer has got to be about the same.
Yeah.
As far as the contract. You
So
think he's worth that?
I mean,
especially with Pickens in the building?
Yeah. I don't know. We're not sold on Pickens, are we? He's definitely boom or bust. Like we've seen that. The plays he's making is, broken plays down the field type stuff. He makes some wild catches. I'll give him that. But he's not like your go-to guy, is he? Like, I don't think he's – I don't like Pickens like that. But he's burned me in the past, so I should just –
the way it is right now, he's the number one guy.
But is he a number one guy? Like –
right.
It's like a lack of options type deal, It's like
exactly.
They did take Roman Wilson though, so I'm gonna throw that in there. I like Roman Wilson, what he did last year at Michigan. So he's on the table. He's in there. I don't know what he's doing in camp right now. I'm not following the Steelers too close, but Roman Wilson should be in consideration, especially in dynasty formats.
So what about the San Francisco side? What do you think is going to shake up over here if Ayuk gets traded?
You're looking at that rookie from Florida.
Oh, Ricky
Pearsall? No way.
Pearsall, yeah. He's gonna be a monster then. Pearsall? I mean, I'm like crazy, but he's gonna be really good for a rookie. So
maybe that's why Ayuk's trying to get out of there because he doesn't want to be number 3.
Well,
no, he's not taking Ayuk's spot.
Well, I mean, if you were talking like he was,
he is now.
No, he's not taking Ayuk's spot. If Ayuk wants to stay there,
I'm just saying, you're all talking madhouse about him just now.
So Ricky Pearsall he's athletic, right?
Yeah.
But we've seen clips already. He's trying to get separation from these, these dudes just in practice. I mean, he's going up against some good dudes in practice, against the San Francisco defense. I'll give him that, but he's not getting that separation. So people are kind of having their doubts about him. Like, is he really going to be an NFL type guy? Like, he had a lot of hype at Florida, but here we are with the big boys. Like, is he there? I don't know. He's an athlete though. He is damn athletic. I'll give him that.
Oh man, I keep looking up this Hassan Reddick trade thing that Anthony's saying. I'm not seeing anything confirmed. I know he requested a trade.
The Jets just traded for him, didn't they?
The Jets just traded for him this year. He was expecting a deal to come along with it. See, he didn't have a no trade clause. Okay,
gotcha.
So they had to work out the contract first. All right. And so he got there and they're like, we're not giving you a new contract. We need you to play.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm not playing on a new deal. And so now he's like, nah, trade me. And so they're like, we just traded for you. We're not about to trade you. And so they had a standoff right now. That's all I'm seeing. We'll see. We'll see if he actually gets traded. So yeah, back to the Steelers. Do you think that actually makes them a more dangerous offense? Because I don't think overall it does. It
doesn't do anything. Just help save Mike Tomlin his job a little bit.
Well, Tomlin just resigned. Tomlin's job is good.
That's what you think, but anybody get fired.
You get fired and pay him to stay home. That's
they do it all the time. They do it all the time.
You just resigned him like this year.
Mike Tomlin ain't never getting fired, bro.
Right. He's the longest tenured coach in the NFL. He just resigned, bro. Like,
I got you. I hear what you're saying. Everybody's up on the chopping block though, man. They don't care if you just resigned or not, or all the pieces, man. They fire you. And then pay
unless
you.
You got some pictures of him with kids or something. I don't see that happening.
God, damn.
Dang, dude. Dang, Dale's where? Don't ever fuck with Dale, Kyle. Okay.
No. He's right.
You might have pictures of you with kids.
You'll find
It's
some
the
crazy
state of Pennsylvania, right? So we know stuff like that happens in that state of Pennsylvania. So I don't know how close Penn State and Pittsburgh are, but like,
Yeah,
I
Penn State.
guess, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, we'll see who Brock Purdy is. But honestly, too, will we? Because Brock Purdy has all the weapons.
Yeah.
All right, honestly,
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy is just a guy. He can run that offense.
Yeah,
and that's all he is. But as long as he don't come in and ask for the world, I think he'll be fine, and they'll be happy to keep him.
No, he ain't gonna do that though. He's not that type of person,
Yeah, exactly.
He ain't flashy, he's a Christian, he's God-fearing man. He's gonna come in and say, hey, pay me this and take this extra cash right here and pay somebody who's gonna block for me, who's gonna catch for me, who's gonna get stops on defense. He's a team player, and that's why he's doing so well, because he's got that mindset, man. I wish more people nowadays had that, but you ain't gonna see that in the NFL for sure. So
CMC's got that calf injury. You saw that?
Yes, he's dealing with calf injury, but it's still early right now. You wouldn't play him anyway in preseason. So, and this actually saves him from getting banged up at all in preseason. So
he's injury prone, though. I mean,
the 49ers are dealing with a ton of injuries right now. They had to cancel their joint practices with the Saints this week because they just don't have enough bodies. So,
oh shit. Damn.
Yeah, wow. It's just one of those things that happens in camp. So we'll see how they do this Sunday versus the Saints in preseason. Looking forward to that one. So the next news item is bad for the Saints because the Falcons are trading for Matthew Judon.
Wow.
You got that boo line queued up?
The compensation is saying they gave up a 3rd round pick for him.
Yeah.
You get a 3rd round pick for a premier pass rusher. I think that's a hell of a deal.
Jesus, man.
I don't know how you
do not want to pay anybody. Nobody. Jesus Christ.
Well, they were about to pay Ayuk $32 million, but they don't want to pay Judon. Judon's good too.
Yeah, Judon's good. He's a premier pass rusher, and they just got him for a 3rd round pick.
Well, y'all saw that little thing, that spat between Judon and their new head coach, Gerard Mayo. Oh, see, there we go.
Yeah,
oh, so that's what happened.
Yeah, no.
That's why he got traded.
It didn't seem that big of a deal, right? Like, head coach, your star, defender, like they're going back and forth. Like, it wasn't like, they're like screaming at each other. It seemed like a disagreement, like, hey, we should have had this guy doing this, X, Y, and Z. Instead, you had him doing that. It didn't seem like a huge deal, but here we are, like, oh, I guess it was. So
what were they doing? Dropping them back in coverage?
It's like, I don't know. You don't know what Gerard Mayo wants. So, brand new head coach, trying to mix things up. He's got starters already set in their ways. Maybe it's one of those type things.
It's possible.
Yeah,
that's possible. But still, man, that's a big piece to give up for just a 3rd round pick because you're not going to replace him in that damn 3rd round. So,
if the coach wants you gone, you're gone, bro. Pack it up. Move out.
Yeah, that's cool. We saw what Brian O'Brien, Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. How they
trade Nuke Hopkins because he was pissed off or something too. So
he traded somebody else.
Got fired. So
didn't he set Arian Foster?
No, I don't think Foster didn't really do nothing else for anybody else.
I think he traded Foster.
Teammates.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Good point, Anthony. Shit.
Yeah, but a 3rd round pick does you nothing when you're giving up a premier pass rusher. That's dumb to me. You get nothing back. That's just like remember the talk about trading Lattimore this offseason for for a second or whatever, everybody was like, hell no.
Apparently, Patriots seem to have a difference of opinion on that. So
Yeah.
Where were y'all on that? Y'all should have got picked up that instead of letting the Falcons get it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I was glad they traded a damn third.
Like a
Boy,
third
hell.
round, like what the fuck? Come on, now. Yeah. I'm with giving up a third for a top fucking DN. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So,
all right. So let's get to some draft prep notes here. This is sponsored by our good old buddy Tim. Tim wants you to prepare for your draft. Don't be that guy that shows up to the draft and don't have a clue who you're taking, or want the people to pause the draft so you can have a discussion about who to take. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you talking to Marvin?
Marvin. Oh no, Marvin, no.
I thought you were talking to Marvin, maybe. Yeah. He probably already bounced on us. So.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point, Patty. Shit, I ain't got nothing right now. I got a tattoo on my leg.
I got on LSU gear, Patty. We're
yeah,
good.
come on, it's all
we're
the
covered,
same.
Patty. We're covered. Okay,
Yeah.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Oh,
Okay.
since she put that out there, I bought my tickets for week 1. So,
oh, really?
Else,
Going to the game?
anybody else going to the game? I will see you there.
Week 1, what?
Me and my old lady.
Which one?
Week
Week 1 Saints? Which week 1?
Yeah, the Saints. Come on now.
Okay.
Me and my old lady. Speaking of, yeah, we go week 1. This is our second annual. It's a tradition now, so we're gonna keep it rolling every year from here on out as long as we live here. Shit, we're gonna be there week 1. Last year we saw us squeak out that 16-15 win against the Titans. Good game. It was a good game to go to, and we won. Crazy walking out of there. It's like it's so awesome. There was a ton of Titans fans. That's a quick little drive from Tennessee. So they was out in force. It was such a good time. We went out to eat after. Man, I was burnt out. I had no voice. It was crazy. Yeah, this year I got us we in the 100 section. So we're gonna be closer. I mean, they're gonna hear me this year. All right, they're gonna hear me this year. It is a different city. Yeah, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. So I'm in between them. I'm, 10 minutes to Baton Rouge. I could be at LSU Stadium in less than 30 minutes. Take me like 50 minutes, 45
minutes. You got the parking lot though.
Yeah. Oh man, if there's a game, no. I'm talking about like 2 a.m. There's no traffic, nothing like that. Like straight shot. If it's a game, I'll be there in 2 hours, bro.
All right, man. Let's look at some draft tips here. Definitely want to make notes and check the other teams and their rosters to see, what players they may be targeting. You want to try to get an idea of what's going on first. So when you're doing this, Tim, to people in our league, you're running a bunch of stuff through a spreadsheet or something like that, right? Predictions.
There were years that I did this stuff. Yeah, I would list everybody, how many players they kept. If they kept 1 quarterback or 3 quarterbacks, and I would decide on how likely they were to pick a quarterback versus a running back, so that way I would be ready for the draft. And if they expect it does help out on, I did all that for the whole league a couple of years in a row. It didn't help out all that much, but it does help out on the guys directly behind you and directly in front of you.
Okay.
Because it's a snake draft, so you're going to get both sides of those. But
Right.
the teams that are directly behind you and directly in front of you, you should know their teams really well. And know what kind of gauge what pieces they're going. If they only got one quarterback, they're probably going to draft one or two quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good assumption. They got two running backs. They only kept two running backs. Then they're probably going to draft two running backs in the draft, because they're going to need 4 or more over the course of the year. So it's just
what about a crazy team like mine where I've got like 19 running backs,
yeah.
But I guarantee if a running back follow me, I'm taking them because I'm running back desperate. That's why I got 19 running backs.
You don't have 19 running backs. So I think Anthony's probably talking about redraft leagues. But yeah, quarterbacks. So sometimes you draft them 4th or 5th round.
In a redraft, that seems early, doesn't it?
No, that's about when I take mine.
Ish, yeah.
If you want Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow, I guess go ahead and shoot for him. But that seems super early to me.
No, like somebody like Mahomes or something like that's gonna go higher.
Yeah, they're gonna go 3rd round.
We're talking about redraft leagues.
Redraft,
yeah. How many teams you got? 14, 16, something like that?
Yeah, usually 12.
Usually
12. I mean, like even in the 12, that seems early. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it depends on the scoring though, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Even with 6 points per touchdown, that would be the difference for quarterbacks. 4 points a touchdown or 6. Yeah. Even with 6, man, I don't think it's worth it to draft that early for a quarterback. But I mean, people do it. So don't expect to get Patrick Mahomes in the 4th or 5th round.
No, and right. I kind of always find myself in that same situation where I'm like, by the end of the season, like you're almost streaming quarterbacks. Like I've ended up with Kirk Cousins a lot of years, like because he's just he's on the board, he's playing well, just kind of guys like that in that range, because I didn't take one early. So yeah, I get it. Everybody's got their own thing. It's however you want to do it.
Well, also some of this is kind of dynasty because it's implied that they already have a roster and you can look at that roster and know what they're looking at on a lot of these tips. And so, the flip side of this, the first tip was the Dale read. The flip side, though, is when you see somebody has too many of one position. Like right now, I got 6 DBs on my team in Little Rock Creek, right? They're all top 10 DBs. I couldn't drop them. I just couldn't do it. So I got 6, so that's how it goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to pay attention to those things. What those teams in front and behind you have, what they have too much of and too little of. I'm definitely not going to be drafting a DB. So you know that now.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. Dale might have 19 running backs. He's running back rich from what he says. I ain't never seen this. To be so running back rich, he's still drinking on the same pink drink for the last month.
I am running back poor.
All right.
I'm desperate. If somebody needs a hit, I'm buying a bunch of lottery tickets. That's what I'm doing. Come on, baby, hit.
We all are, Dale. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Okay. I don't get the premier picks to pick the next great running back.
Yeah.
Like Tim. I
just get lucky.
Yeah. You get help. What you get.
I don't get help. I legitimately do not get help. They'll just doesn't like my what I get. Kyle, you get that next one? I got your name on there here.
Yeah. So, and I'm not. This is Timmy's tips. I'm trying to help out. So we're gonna break this down together.
Yeah.
Do not go buy a paper book off the shelf. Injuries happen, trades happen, and roster changes happen. So when I'm thinking, I mean, a paper book that kind of throws me off. What exactly are you talking about, Tim? Like, let's break this down.
Well, we're in the top 200 list section over here, the top position lists,
Right.
the tier rankings, top rookie lists, etc. And so you don't want to go buy a paperback book off the shelf that might be a month old because it's not going to have the injuries in there that you think it's going to have. And, it's already old. By the time that thing hits the shelves, it's already outdated. You should use a digital, some sort of digital list that from some of your favorite people. Fancy Pros is number one that we always bring up, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. Tim, you're actually talking about a paperback book. Like you walk down the book set, like you see all these Fantasy Pro magazines, and you don't want to pick that up because that's obviously outdated and stuff happens in blink of an eye. All right, now
we're talking about books, Kyle.
I thought it was a metaphor. I'm not even lying to you. I have bought books before. I have books in my house somewhere.
It's against
I bought
print
the ones,
media.
They got Dak Prescott on the cover type stuff like that. So yeah, I got some of those, but you're right. Yeah. That's not the way to go. So
yeah, it's not. It's bad news bears. So now next kind of leading into that is whatever method you are using. Yeah, I don't like print media. I like meme media.
He's an IT guy, or he was an IT guy. So
whatever method you use to keep your lists. So if you have a digital list and let's say you're printed out that day or the couple of days prior to the draft, if you want to take a paper list, that you've downloaded and printed out, it can digital dry erase, chalkboard, whatever list you want to make sure you have a list and make sure that they're easy to keep up with. All right, whatever list.
Oh, man.
Reading is fundamental, Dale. Just another way to troll me while I'm talking. I love it. Yeah, but make sure you got a way you can track things. On whether it's your digital list or a printout list. You can either just have different color pencils, different color markers, whatever, draw, circle the guys, put a square
That's
next
probably
to
my
them.
biggest challenge right there, tracking.
Yeah.
There's so many things going on at our draft and just being able to keep up with all of the picks as they go. It may be a little bit easier at first, but when them picks start rolling in, bro, it gets bad for me. So it's always a problem for me.
Well, this is great mention there, Dale. Leading into the next one right here. All right. I like to use multiple screens in one draft. All right. So I bring my laptop, I bring my iPad, and I got my cell phone there too. All right. Everything's charged up. I use on my computer. That's where I actually have the draft running is on my computer. Because this battery lasts the longest. It's 3-hour battery, 4-hour battery, whatever it is. And then I keep track of my lists on my iPad because I have a digital list and I can make different marks on them. So, you can put an asterisk, a star, taken. You can kind of, as you're going, it's a digital list and you can kind of sort it out. I've done before a spreadsheet, lo and behold, amazing, right? Tim has a spreadsheet, but I just quickly color them or delete them real quick out of the block.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
And then your phone is the backup for the other two. So if one goes down, you get the other one.
Right. Yes.
Because I found fumbling tabs even is hard to do during the draft because I get to drinking too much beer, Kyle. All right. And then I'm talking shit. Yeah, that Modelo. I'm talking shit to Dale, and trying to annoy him as much as I can while he's fumbling things too. And yeah, that is a tactic to talk to the people around you at the draft.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I like the friendliness of the draft, and being able to see everybody and everything like that. But yeah, that part of the draft, I wish I could just be at home and just concentrate. So that's what I wish I could do. All right. So the big one, I think, is looking at the default draft order, the way that the site ranks players and all that kind of crap, because people who auto draft, if there are people that auto draft, they are going to, like, that's who they're going to take, right?
Yeah.
It sucks.
No, it happens though. I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. Like just count that. Like out of 12 dudes, there's gonna be one or two. They're just not gonna show up. They're not gonna have a reminder on their phone. Whatever it may be. I've even been there before. Come on, like guys, let's be real. It's happened to us before. Just got to make it work.
Yeah.
Number one fan, Patty.
She is.
Do you use a queue when you're drafting? Most times, the players in the queue are done by the time he drafts his next pick. From Anthony. I do use queues when somebody can't just walk right behind me and look at my screen.
Yeah. I get there first and sit on this one end of the table because we always use the same table. And this one end at the table, I got my back to the wall, and then like the whole, I got both sides of the table lengthways down there, so nobody's like looking at my shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is good when you can, secure your picks. Yes.
Yeah. And it helps if you don't have people that sit right next to you drafting right beside you too. Don't sit right next to people that are drafting right next to you. Right in front of you, behind you.
As someone who doesn't draft like in person very much, like at all, I got my leagues in California. I got, all y'all is in Arkansas. I don't think we have any live drafts like coming up, or else, I ain't gonna make it because I ain't scheduled nothing yet. Maybe in the future we'll get that going, but yeah, no, like I feel like the queue is once you get to a certain round, probably like 5 and below. Those first 5 picks, you have to be on the ball, on top of it, but after that, queue up who you want. It's not going to be that top 200 list, like you're saying, the draft site, it's not going to be who you want popping up. So I like to queue it up after like 5 or 6 rounds for sure. Like that's a smart move,
Also, the longer the draft, the longer the draft goes on, once you get 4 or 5 rounds deep, the longer people take to pick their picks. It's easy to plan out the first 2 or 3 picks or whatever. And then when they're taking their length of time, that's when you should be adding, Anthony, guys to your queue. And
I would typically do. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm never interested in anything Dale's interested in. So whatever he puts in his queue don't matter to me. All right. Because it's not going to be a good pick. So it don't matter. I also like to have a backup plan on the Wi-Fi because we go out. We're at a restaurant, Twin Peaks usually is where we go.
Nice.
So, if there's a whole bunch of people on Wi-Fi at the same time and in the restaurant, then like it slows down. So I like to have my phone charged and ready with the hotspot. And I like to bring chargers for everything. I don't care how charged it is. I'm bringing a charger too. Right.
Yeah, we typically bring like a extension cord where you can plug in a couple power strips and stuff. So that's how we usually do, man. We're ready. So.
Yeah, we got that one plug-in over there, and every year they're all like, "Oh, there's a plug-in there." Like, yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you can have this extension cord running across the way where people are walking. And I'm like, it's orange.
Go. So, there you go. So draft by tiers, Tim,
Yeah.
instead of by player rankings. So talk to me about this, Tim.
So the drafting by tiers, when you look at a tier ranking, typically those guys are roughly going to score the same amount of points on the end of the season. That's their projected points. And there's usually breaks in the tiers, 20, 30 points, 40 points. There's usually a difference between the two tiers, tier 2 and tier 3, whatever. And so, if you got like for example, if you're looking for a wide receiver and a running back, it's your pick, and you're just a couple of picks away from the turn. And there's more running backs left in that tier. Go ahead and pick a wide receiver first, because the maybe the wide receiver tier was about to be emptied and go to the next bottom tier. So you want to grab that wide receiver, and then when the turn comes back to you, 4, 6, 8 picks, whatever it is, you'll still have a running back that's comparable to the running back that was in the top portion of that tier of running backs. Does that all make sense? Maybe that's too much.
No, yeah, totally.
Too much for one. But a top 200 list is handy to have it right there, but at the same time, you're looking at tiers. Once the draft kicks in, we're looking for tiers, baby. So don't prioritize the 200 list, but tiers in position. So
tiers in position. Okay. So we talked about ADP last week. So we looked at the ADP pretty much rankings of different players and where they're going. We talked about how it helps you kind of understand what the general public is thinking, and therefore maybe this is how your draft will sort of play out. So when you're looking at ADP in our drafts for Dynasty, how are you adjusting what's on ADP compared to I guess previous seasons of drafts that we've done, where you have some people auto drafted and all that kind of stuff too?
Yeah. This year we are seeing some younger talent going higher in ADP right now than we've seen in years past. We've seen a lot of second-year wide receivers and tight ends going much sooner than in previous years. So you want to be ready for that. If it's a younger tight end, like what was that, Lions tight end? Kyle, do you remember who was that?
Sam Laporta.
Lions tight end's one of the guys. He had a great rookie season, so we're going to look for him to be going high. Right. It's those kind of guys like that we've seen in the last few years. We're seeing a change in ADP this year compared to the last few years previously. So, yeah.
Okay.
Kyle, you got some running back redraft spotlights?
Yeah. We got a little list going between us. Most of these guys I'm looking at, I like. So we know the first one, it's bias. We know this. We saw him last year get all kinds of catches out the backfield. Alvin Kamara. He's going through that injury, we know, in quotes. But yeah, I still love him in a PPR format. I'm not even thinking this is like third round type dude for sure. Like if we're looking at a PPR with what we saw last year, he's still going to have the same quarterback. He does have a new offense coordinator. So we're going to throw that in there. You could take that into account. But at the same time, the type of pass catcher he is. So Alvin Kamara should be real high. Pacheco. I love Pacheco. I love the offense. There's no reason that this dude should be slowing down. He runs angry. Yeah, I'm absolutely a Pacheco fan.
That grocery joke I think about from last year, where they say he looks like he He takes all the groceries out the car at the same time.
Yes.
What's up?
Oh, yes. Pacheco, love it. This next one on our list, Joe Mixon. He might have been higher, but he kind of slipped. With him coming into a new team, I mean, it's always tough. Like we know the type of team they were last year. Great, CJ Stroud did his thing. Houston was balling. I'm not, you don't know what to expect when you have a new running back come into a new system and a second-year quarterback. There is a thing called the sophomore slump. We all know this. Is it going to happen to CJ Stroud? I don't know. I feel like we could go back and forth on that. Dale might say yes. Tim might say no. I honestly might say yes too. It was a great first season. He looked comfortable. He looked, he looked like everything you wanted him to be. We get that, but at the same time, are we sold 100% that this dude is going to be, for the next 10 years, he's going to be one of those dudes? I don't think you can actually say that yet from anyone after just 1 year.
Okay.
So we're going to hold off on that. Mixon, I dig it, but at the same time, I'd be skeptical. I wouldn't jump at him in the third or fourth. I'd probably wait to see if he slides, because he might, with a new team, he might slide. We're going to look at that. Kenneth Walker. I don't know what y'all thinking. I still like what Seattle's doing with Geno. I still dig it. That they put up some numbers last year. Kenneth Walker, when he was healthy, he was one of the best backs in the league. He made all the plays he needed to play. It's like, you have these younger guys who are like, what did it take you say? Oh man. Dude, come on now. No. I just seen that at the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh no, damn.
Yeah.
I am a Kenneth Walker fan. If he stays healthy, definitely. Even he went down for what? Like, it wasn't like a super long length of time. And then he came back and he looked good, from what I remember. I don't know. I've had a few, but yeah, I'm still Kenneth Walker fan. Between rounds 3 and 7, I'm probably thinking closer to 6 or 7, but at the same time, he might not make it. So we'll see how that plays out. James Conner is another one. I was a James Conner fan. I picked him up late in a lot of drafts last year, and that paid off huge, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to see the same thing we saw from last year? The Cardinals are such a wild card to me. Like, they are, they had that, it was like 11 and something. They won like 10, 11 games.
All right.
And then the next 2 years, they kind of just fell off. So
here's my problem with the Cardinals right now. And I know I'm going to sound like the old guy, but
You are.
Are you? Wait.
No.
20 years older?
I'm actually the more mature.
Yeah, he's
older
old.
one. I beat Dale by a day in life.
That's what I'm telling you. He's bragging about dying faster than me. Like
I beat him at everything.
But so I heard Kyler Murray is not playing in the preseason. The coach decided there will be no Kyler Murray. And when I can see the MVP out there preseason, Patrick Mahomes, then I think nobody else has any excuse. Get your asses out there and practice, because that's what preseason is. All right, yeah. It's practice.
Well,
and so that's a concern for me about the offense. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to be something new that probably we hadn't seen them do before. So early on, I expect them to have a little bit of a boost, but once they get used to whatever this is, how they're gonna respond to it is always the question. And so I'm not gonna say I'm down on the Cardinals offense, I'm just not sold on it being this, Kansas City kind of points offense, that I'm dying to get involved in.
Who's saying
God.
it's Kansas City though, Dale? That's a big difference.
Yeah, that's a huge jump, man.
I don't think anybody's saying Cardinals or Kansas City.
Yeah, look, when Marvin Harrison got drafted to the Cardinals, everybody was like, "Yes, it's the best place for him." Oh my God, why?
Oh, because they just traded Hollywood Brown. And there's nobody to compete.
Yeah,
He's
the clear cut number one.
Yeah, it's his passing core. It's him.
Okay.
That's what they're yelling about. They're not yelling about the Cardinals. Or, they're yelling. You're like, yeah, Marvin Harrison went to the Cardinals. Kyler, the young quarterback, and
Okay, well, maybe I misinterpreted the thing. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I feel like the consensus on James Conner is back end of, if we're talking about rounds 3 to 7, we're talking like back end. I wouldn't really jump to it in the 3rd or 4th. But that's why I'm saying they're such a wild card, because they'll come out and they'll win 10, 11 games, but then they'll go back-to-back years where they're bottom of the league. I know Kyler got hurt that one year, and then he came back. The second one, it was like he came back mid-season, something like that. So I'm not really I'm nowhere near sold on this Cardinals offense. We talking Marvin Harrison Jr. I totally dig that. That's even in redraft, I might be swooping him up a little early. That's great. That's Marvin Harrison Jr. But James Conner, that's back in. That's 6, 7, somewhere around there. That's a value pick to me. So, but a couple guys left. Let's talk about Ramondre Stevenson. I am so confused with him. He has produced before, like a ton of times, where the Patriots have no offense. They have no playmakers. They're not making any plays. I don't understand how he has produced in the past. Someone please make it make sense. Like he's a playmaker. When he's on the field, when he's healthy, he's getting you points. He's making plays. I just don't know how. That's like y'all kind of get what I'm saying. It makes no sense to me why he's, I'm trying to look at the overall picture, and the Patriots are this giant dumpster fire, and
he's definitely gonna face some stacked boxes, and I don't like the sound of that for him.
Oh God,
no one's gonna be afraid of that passing game at all.
We're talking about, what is it, Jacoby Brissett right now? He came back and now he's the number one guy. So, I mean, Milton might be that guy pretty soon, though. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with that.
Oh yeah. He had a pretty decent game as a rookie, so it was good.
not even just the preseason game. I'm talking about every day in practice. He outworking Drake May. So it's like, what the hell is happening? Like,
all right. So the last one on the list to round it all off.
Raheem Mostert. So, I know A-Chain is not that 3-down back. We know that. He's that like blazing speed type, I get that, but Raheem Mostert is also kind of one of those, like, is it him, or is it that system that he's playing in?
They just gave him the bag this year too.
Did they?
Gave him a 2-year contract, I think it was. Yeah.
Well,
can you look that up, Dale? What's his contract?
That's Miami. That Miami does not make a whole lot of good decisions.
They throw the money out.
They're like, they pay a lot of people for,
Wait, look up what?
They're like Raheem Mostert's contract.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Miami does throw the money out like the Joker on the original Batman.
If it was me, I would not have given him the bag. Absolutely not. You got A-Chain. You got all kinds of, free agents, or you could have drafted somebody. You could have gone so many different ways. I don't think Mostert is really that type of back. Is that really him right there? So
32. Yeah.
32.
32. 3.8 million.
Yeah, and unlike other people, I've been listening to Timmy's tips, okay? I know age 32 for a running back, you are not paying him this type of money, but, Miami obviously does not watch the show. Whoever in charge over there needs to learn something from Tim. That's not what we're looking for.
Pretty manageable contract here. It's really nothing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. $3 million from the cap, $4 million next year. Like, this is really nothing. You should hold out and get a new deal.
It seems like $7 million in the cap for 2 years. I don't know. Right?
It seems like a lot though. For an old running back, he's 32, man. And we're about to learn.
32 years old, yep.
We're about to learn about this kind of stuff right now. Our next segment over here. When to trade, when to buy, when to sell, when to hold them, when to fold them.
All right. Well, let's get right over to that. Let's talk about some deals here, and it's sponsored by this great car dealership. Come on down to Timmy's Used Car Emporium.
That's a good call, Papa.
There we go.
The clip at the junkyard never gets old.
We are open for business. We
Never
are
gets
open
old.
for business here. And this is also our featured athlete of the day here. Timmy's draft tips.
You put hair on me? Is that hair? You tried to put some hair on me?
So actually the AI did that, okay? Like it wasn't really my fault, but I was like, okay, I'm not going to object to this, so I'm going to keep
hilarious. That's hilarious. If I ever do become a car salesman, I'll wear a wig, all right, every day.
Yeah.
All right, just for you.
Oh, you got a fan out there, Tim.
I got one. Oh, man.
Okay, so we're talking about buying and selling, and we're talking about age, right, Tim?
Yeah, when to buy and sell. I'm glad Marvin's here. Is he still here? Marvin can learn. I don't think he's here anymore, huh? Oh, look at that. I like it. I'm gonna share my screen on this.
Are these bots or something? Jesus Christ, man. Is this AI coming alive?
It could be. It could be here.
Oh,
are we gonna pay? Want to pay here? Send me something to the Cash App.
Dang. I was going to share some of my screen, Dale. If you,
okay. If you
throw it over here, boom, yeah. So
make it bigger.
That look, Dale. We're only working with so much,
all right.
Dale. It's only you. The stuff you share is taller than that. So
we go.
All right. So we broke down. What I did was I pulled all this data and I broke down all the points of what you're looking for and when you want to, how long you want to hold on to a player at a certain position. And this is just data across the board, right? There are some outliers, of course. And like Tom Brady, stuff like that. There are other guys that are outliers, but generically speaking, across the board, if you follow these rules, you'll be doing pretty well. And I broke them down by position, and it's what age they are, how many career years they're into, when to buy, when to go trade for them, and when to sell them, when to trade them away. So, in QBs, when you want to buy is anything age 22 plus. There's right at 22. I know you're going like, hey, that's right out of college. There are some guys that come out a little bit earlier, 21, and they don't look. That sounds terrible, all that, but whatever. So, but the draft capital, NFL draft capital, so whatever the team drafted them at, you want to get somebody that's get drafted in round 1 or round 2. That's where that's just putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, numbers, and being a nerd. You want to try to buy them, trade for them between career year 1 and year 2. So they usually break out when they break out early. They're going to break out years. You want to break out between years 21 and 24.5. So that's when you can expect their breakout period to happen. If you don't get a breakout after year 24 and a half, then it's going to be time to get rid of them.
Okay.
All right, that's what this means, early breakout. So when they break out, if they don't break out by year 25, age 25, then you want to get rid of them.
So breakout is they're a guaranteed starter, somebody that you rely on, a cornerstone.
Yeah, breakout is implied that they're a guaranteed starter on your team.
Okay.
In the peak ages, all right, so when they start breaking out, then their peak ages are from 24 and a half to 30 and a half for quarterbacks. So at the end of year 30, whatever year they're year 30, you want to trade them after that. You want to draft a replacement in year 28. All right, when your quarterback, your current starting quarterback is 28 years old, you want to draft your guy's replacement. So,
okay.
Later, bud. And you want to, on the sell side of quarterbacks, you want to sell them at age 36. Like you held on him for too long. You need to just get rid of him because he's soaking up spots, right? You got to get rid of him at age 36. You want to get rid of him somewhere between career years 15 and 16. That's when you want to trade them. However many years they've been in the league, 15. Once they hit that 15, 16 mark, you got to get rid of them. If you want to trade them away by age 32. I like to trade them before they decline ages, or age 36 to 39. So I like to trade them away a little bit before they decline. But you'll see between the trade age and the decline age, you're going to see a sharp change in there about how many points they're scoring. So going along with the same exact data format here for running backs, you want to have them age 21 plus. They're pretty much hot right out the gate. Draft capital that the NFL paid, drafted them at anywhere rounds between 1 and 3. You want to pick them up, buy them, trade for them in the career years between 1 and 2. They should have a breakout between ages 21 to 24 and a half. And if they don't have that breakout by 24 and a half, get rid of them because they're not going to have it most likely. Their peak ages is only 3 years, 24 and a half to 27 and a half. All right. So you want to draft their replacement at their age 26. You want to trade running backs away at age 28. You held on to him too long. You got to get something for him, a 4th round, a 6th round pick, whatever you got, whatever you can, you get rid of him. You want to get rid of him between somewhere around career years 7 and 8. I like to trade them away at age 26. So that way, whoever's got whoever's got him next has a couple of good years left in him, but they start declining in 27 and a half to 30.
Okay. So wide receivers, though, they're going to last a lot longer.
Yeah. They do last a lot longer. And we're going to see that because the decline age, if we're looking at the thing right here, decline age for wide receivers is 30 and a half to 33. That's when you start seeing a decline in there. So they get a good almost 4 years on just a minimum of 4 years extra on versus a running back. So we want to buy them We want to buy wide receivers at age 21 plus. We want a wide receiver that got drafted in the NFL draft somewhere between rounds 1 and 3. You want to trade for them somewhere in career years 1 and 3, somewhere between there, after their first year and before their third. They should have an early breakout by age 21 to 25 and a half, somewhere in there. Their peak ages are 25 and a half to 30 and a half, and I like to draft their replacement at age 28. But then I sell when I trade them away. If you're holding the bag at 32, you got to get rid of them now. They're going to have 10 to 11 years of a career. That's how long their careers are. That's 10 and 11 years, somewhere in there. You need to trade them. I like to trade them by 28. So, yeah, wide receivers. Sorry, I was thinking I was on running backs. And then they decline at years 30 and a half to 33. And our last spot, real quick, is tight ends. Tight ends are a little bit older. It takes them a little bit longer to. Right here, thing is, we're kind of gauging how long
Definitely
they take to develop.
With tight ends.
So 23 plus is where we're looking at. We want to draft capital, NFL draft capital of rounds 1 through 4. We want to trade for them from another fantasy team somewhere between years 1 and year 3. They should break out between years 21 to year 25 and a half. So if they haven't broken out and they're going to turn 26 in the next season, it's, trade them away because somebody's going to want them. They're still thinking they're a young tight end. Maybe they think they got something going, and somebody's going to end up getting that. But their peak ages are 25 and a half to 29 and a half, and I like to draft the replacement at age 27. And we trade them away though at age 30. If you're holding the bag at age 30, you probably waited too long. They're trade away at careers between year 11 and year 12. I like to trade them away at age 28. That's when I like to trade them away. Their declining years though are a little bit longer out, but 29 and a half to 32 is their declined years. So hopefully I got that out. It's a little bit fast. I was trying to be fast about it because there's a lot of data here, but I hope you can.
This is it's a pretty good guide to go by as far as setting up your team for Dynasty and knowing how to plan your future. So I get what you're saying here with Tim.
Yeah.
So my problem is always getting the proper value for the guys that you're trading away, and the value to me never meets up unless it's that premier position of running back in the leagues that I play in, pretty much.
Well, also though, Dale, if you're following when to draft the replacement for your guy, you're already got his replacement sitting there on your bench waiting.
Right. Yes.
So this is not just a guide on how to buy, sell. It's also like when to draft another player so that he's coming to fruition, or maybe you draft like a tight end. They don't always hit, so maybe draft 2 tight ends in 1 year. And
Sure.
So this is kind of how I've been running the Dynasty team, and just puts it there.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So Kyle, how do you feel about pieces on the Saints offense for Dynasty? Well, I would say just for fantasy this year, pieces like Olave and AK.
Well, AK is probably falling in that range where he's, if we're looking, let's go back, running backs, peak ages 24 and a half to 27 and a half. How old is AK? He was drafted in 17. He's already got 7 years. I mean, according to Tim's tips, really, if we following what Tim's saying, you should have already traded him by now. He should have been gone off your team. You should have got a, kind of a high value rookie by this point. He's up there. So 7 seasons,
He's
age
29.
29. So if we're looking at, you should have sold him last year when he was, catching 10 to 14 balls a game out of the backfield. You should have sold his ass and sold him fast. But, Tim, like, this is what you're telling us. Like, I'm listening to you. When this is exactly what we're talking about. As a Saints fan, it's hard to say that because, like, it's Alvin Kamara, bro. Like, he's
my biggest concern for the Saints right now is offensive line. We look terrible.
Yeah.
And especially, at right tackle, we look terrible.
Oh, Penning is not playing out, man.
And I don't see it. Listen, this is me because I'm not the optimistic guy. So I see this as never getting better. And my concern is for those players' fantasy outcome. Not to mention Derek Carr's health. I think he's gonna die.
Dang. Well, part of the thing though is too on this is that you're trying to be a good trade partner and trade with some meat on the bone. Whoever's got your, you want to trade before the cliff falls off. You want to trade it when you've gotten all the play out of the player you're going to get, and you know what? If you end up when you make the trade with someone else, you end up giving them a year or 2 years left on a player. That's way better than you being held with the bag. I don't want to be held with a player that is declined. I don't want to have to drop a player. It's more valuable to receive a lower price for a player than it is than it is to drop him in a year or two. And then, during the decline, he's going to slowly just like soak up a spot because Dale's married to him,
Yeah.
So,
no, he's not going to just soak up a spot. He's going to be used in my lineup. Like it's going to be a guy I'm looking to, for something to happen. Look, running backs, I'm holding on to them like lottery tickets because what else am I going to do? Not do it, I got to get a running back some way, man. Okay, this is the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah, well, it's like I was saying, I want to trade at the most value, and my trade partner still gets a year or two left on them, and then because like afterward you're just going to be holding. You're going to be like, and a guy once he starts declining, he is going to be soaking up a spot on your roster because you're going to have your fourth and fifth and sixth string guy are going to be scoring more points than him, but he's still going to be on your roster, and make some of those decisions easier. Those little heartfelt decisions, like Doug goes through. That's kind of been my philosophy. I'm just explaining my philosophy to you. Do what you like. If you're winning, who cares what Tim says? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Olave is right where you need him to be. He's at that age. He's prime right now. He's right where you want him. He's got at least 3, 4, 5, 6. He could be a good receiver for a long, long time. So we're hanging on to Olave no matter what. Rashid Shaheed should get some love. He might not be on the Saints forever. Could you imagine him in like this dynamic offense where he just gets to be that like outstanding like route runner, like he's just deep threat, big play type dude. He could be dangerous. I would like to keep Rashid Shaheed. From what we've seen, it hasn't been like the greatest because he's been on a kind of a stalling offense, but at the same time, we like what we've seen out of him, right? I'm a Rashid Shaheed fan. Even if he wasn't on my team, I'd like him. Jamal Williams, man, he's not really anybody you're looking at right now. Kendrick Miller can't stay healthy, so he's also kind of like Like, keep him if you want. He's a lottery ticket, like you're saying, Dale. So, Kendra
Well,
Miller.
yeah, if I drafted him, yeah, I'd probably be holding on to him and doing this.
Because
Please, baby, please.
you know what he can do if he's healthy, but he's been healthy all of 5 minutes. So,
You know who did draft him? Kyle?
I don't. No, I don't know.
I drafted him.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
got
Why don't
is
you
he
drop
still on
him,
your
man?
team? You drafted him, and is he still on your roster?
Yeah, he's still on my roster. Little Rock League.
Why don't you drop
But,
him,
like-
man? Get that stink off of him.
This is this is the cool thing though too with the early breakout section is that you know that just going by number, data is that like by age 24 and a half, if he doesn't fill into a starting role, now it's your time to get out.
Okay.
So
I mean, he's young, but if he can't stay healthy, just no point. Just move on with your life. As far as tight ends, Juwan Johnson, like, I have zero to little faith of his future. Not even on the Saints, just of as a player in the NFL. Foster Moreau, just not a whole lot of faith in any of these playmakers that we're talking about on the Saints. Maybe you could throw in a guy like A.T. Perry, might be like a sneaky kind of pickup. He's looked real good this year in camp. Other than that, really, we're not talking about anybody else but Olave, Shaheed, AK. If you haven't already, try to sell him. He does. I'll throw this one last thing. AK does have meat on the bone. If that's what we're talking about, Tim, he's got meat on. Like, it's not. He's not at the end of his career just yet.
But
There's
this
still some
season,
meat on the bone.
how do you feel about him for this season? Because
He looked
like I
great
said, the
before this
offensive line.
whole back thing, didn't he? Like, I have many group chats with Craig, so at some point he's going to send me something that says, oh, look at the explosiveness from AK this year. He looks great. He looks like a first-year back again. He's looking fantastic. He looks more explosive than he's ever been. I'll bring it up if I need to. It's on my phone and a group chat with Craig.
He's
for sure.
He's been declining. I still got him, but he's been declining, and I'm just I have faith in the talent versus the age and the data and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this is why Tim laughs at me.
Yeah, no.
I like hearing it.
It's he already been gone off your team, so.
But it's like now I see those things happen, and then now I'm looking at the offensive line in the preseason. And I'm like, damn, this is gonna be bad. Like, do I hold on to him again for another year in hopes of that next year he goes to a different team and he's gonna hit that year? That's a lot to be holding on to, right?
Hey, look, man, you also talking to the guy that traded CMC away 2 years ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I traded CMC away at 26, man. I traded Travis Kelce away when I had him. I traded him away.
Only IDP players. Holy shit!
Random.
No,
Anthony
I've never
Price.
been where it's only IDP players. No.
Anthony. Yeah, random. Huh. Anthony
It
Price
sounds
asked
like
a random question. He said, "Has anybody here been in a fantasy draft with only IDP players?" No. Is that
like one of those random leagues that you just make, to prove a point or something, like a league with all kickers?
Oh man,
there are some leagues that like have two drafts though in a season.
Okay.
Not just like a startup and then sometimes it is a startup and then a rookies. It's all veterans and then rookies, but it's typically a newer league. Anthony, are you saying that your league does IDP players and offense players separate?
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. That's just Oh,
defense
crazy.
That's
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those leagues you're just trying to prove a point or something like that.
There's enough where you could do that. You know.
Yeah.
You got like
Yeah,
it might be interesting to do.
Linemen, 3 or 4
Definitely make you a better
backers.
IDP player.
and I'll tell you what I'll tell you right now though too, man. There's so many people that don't play with individual defensive players, IDPs,
Mhm.
and then once they do, they get that like that. Oh wait, this matters. What different aspect of fantasy. You start cheering on the defense just as much as you cheer on the offense because you're like, that's the guy. I want him. He's the middle linebacker, and you're like watching him too. And then
it's enjoyable for sure.
Yeah, then he's tackling your running back, and you're fucking pissed.
Exactly. Like.
Yep. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap up the show this week. We appreciate all the comments and everybody joining us. This was fun for sure. And shout out to Kendra Miller and his knee. Shout out to you. Definitely this message goes out to you, Kendra Miller, and your knee.
I hate you guys so very, very much.
Oh man.
For sure, man. So, all right, with that said, man, we out.
Remember to follow us on social media at BSnBEER Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.